What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to take a look at the Captain America Hero Pack. Now, this one has been out for a little bit of a while, but we never did a review of it, and it's a very, very, very nice set. So I think we should probably fix this now and go ahead and do a little bit of a review. It is a very, very good hero pack. It was the best of the early hero packs. For me, it has definitely been surpassed by Doctor Strange. And I probably think, I think I prefer Black Widow. I don't know if Black Widow is better, but I prefer Black Widow. But I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, make no mistake about it, this is a very good hero pack. There are some cards in here which are basically broken. Now, starting off with Captain America, we really need to start with Steve Rogers. Hand size of 6 is fine, hit point of 11 is fine, recovery of 3 is fine. The stats on Captain America, 2 thwart, 2 attack, 2 defense, hand size of 5, this is all fine. The stats on Captain America, there is nothing you look at and go, oh no, that's terrible, and there's nothing you look at and go, oh, that's amazing. It is fine. However, it's got a setup ability whereby you search your deck and discard pile for the Captain America's shield upgrade and add it to your hand. So you always start the game with an extra card, that being Captain America's shield. That is a good thing. If you naturally draw it, take a mulligan, would you? Now, unless you've got a great hand, in which case you'll be fine. So, that's awesome. But you've also got a skill in alt mode, or in alter ego mode, too much Transformers, whereby you reduce the cost of the first ally played each round by 1. So every ally in your set becomes 1 cheaper unless you're playing multiple allies per turn, which you will occasionally, but especially playing solo, it's rarely going to happen. The more characters you play, obviously, the more likely it is to happen, but hey ho. Now, this is awesome. And then, and this is what really makes it ridiculous. In hero mode, you've got an action whereby you discard any card from your hand and ready Captain America. And that's what's so ridiculous. You can defend, but then ready yourself next turn. You can attack twice, you can thwart twice, you can attack once and thwart once. You literally get to use him twice every turn. If you've played with Captain America, you will have seen in action how awesome this is. If you haven't, trust me, it's phenomenal. Getting an extra use of your hero every turn is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But then we get to the shield. Now, Captain America's shield is a restricted card. You can only have 2 restricted cards total in your deck. But it's a 1-cost card that gives you +1 defense and retaliate 1. Every time you are attacked, you deal a damage. So now, what we do when we add this all up, if you just stay in Captain America mode, what you get is a free defense character. So now we do have a stat we can look at and go, oh, that's really good. That deals a damage when attacked and can defend without being exhausted next turn because you ready it or ready him. So you've got good defense and retaliate and can ready yourself after defending. I was never a huge fan of defending in Marvel Champions until I started playing with Captain America, at which point it all made perfect sense. And all of this goes together to basically go, yeah, this is ridiculous. Retaliate and readying yourself and high defense and playing allies more cheaply and starting with Captain America's shield, and it all just adds up to, yeah, this is awesome. Now, there are a couple of cards that go along with shield. We've got Shield Block. Now, Shield Block is a free card. You don't pay anything to play it. And when you would take any amount of damage, you exhaust Captain America's shield and prevent all of that damage. The reason you exhaust a shield is purely to stop you using it multiple times in a turn. So yeah, so now you've got a card which literally doesn't cost you any resources to play, which can prevent all the damage done from one particular attack. You've got Rhino coming in with huge attack and lots of buffs and flips a bunch of boost icons, and don't worry about it, because you're going to block all of that damage, it gets very silly very, very quickly. It is ridiculous. And then you've got Shield Toss, which has a hero action, whereby you discard X amount of cards from your hand, as many as you like. You return Captain America's shield from play to your hand and deal 4 damage to X enemies. So if you discard 2 cards from your hand, you deal 4 damage to 2 enemies. So now, if you're playing one of those games, I don't know, mutagen formula if you will, where just way too many minions are coming out and it's all becoming overwhelming and you don't know what to do, oh look, this has totally got your back. And again, you can play this as expensively or as cheaply as you like, because you can do it once or twice or 3 or 4. You decide how many cards you are discarding from your hand, so you discard how many enemies you're actually attacking here, and it's just crazy good. And here's the thing, right? I've just shown you a bunch of ridiculous shield cards, but it keeps going. There are some other redonkulous cards here. I mean, Captain America's helmet is a 1-cost upgrade, but if you would be defeated, you go to 1 hit point instead and discard the helmet. It's literally a get out of jail free card. You cannot be defeated with this upgrade on. Bearing in mind you've got the defense and retaliate, bearing in mind you've got shield block, you also now get a card that just saves you. We've got Steve's Apartment, a 1-cost support. Now it is only an alter ego action, but it is a 1-cost that lets you exhaust it, draw 1 card, and heal 1 damage. And we could literally put that side by side of Avengers Mansion, a 4-cost card that lets you exhaust it and draw 1 card. Rather than being a 1-cost card that lets you exhaust it, draw a card, and heal, though do bear in mind it is an alter ego action only, whereas Avengers Mansion will work regardless of which mode you're in. Still a ridiculous card for a 1-cost. Then, of course, we can take a little bit of a look at Super Soldier Serum, a 2-cost upgrade that you can exhaust to generate a physical resource. Now, bearing in mind, the cards I've been showing you so far are pretty cheap. And you get to reduce the cost of an ally if you play it while you're in alter ego mode. And now you're generating resources as well. And this is a good time to mention Heroic Strike. It is a 3-cost event that deals 6 damage to an enemy. It's a hero action, so be in hero mode. But if you paid for this card using a physical resource, you also stun the enemy. So if you've got 1 Super Soldier Serum on the board, you basically have a 2-cost event that deals 6 damage and stuns an enemy. I cannot be the only one that thinks that sounds pretty good. Now, probably the worst card in the Captain America pack, by which I mean the 15 Captain America cards, is Fearless Determination. It's not a bad card, it's just very meh. 0-cost event, and you get +1 thwart until the end of the phase, and you draw a card. It's great if you're planning to thwart this turn. Otherwise, you just play it to draw a card. You literally just swap it with a card in your deck. The thing to remember here is that Captain America's got that skill that makes himself active. So you give yourself 3 thwarts rather than 2, or maybe even 4 if you can play both of them in the pack in the same turn. And then you get to do it twice. Because you can thwart, make yourself active, thwart again. Yeah, and that's probably the worst card here. Now, in terms of allies, there is one in the Captain America pack properly. Remember again that the alter ego mode lets you play them for 1 less. Agent 13 is a 3-cost. 2 thwarts with 1 residual damage is awesome. Generally speaking on allies, if you can get 2 thwart or attack while taking 1 damage, it's great. 1 attack for 1 damage for you is fine. 3 health is quite nice. But after you enter play, you remove 2 threat from a scheme. So clearly, Agent 13 is here to thwart. You play and remove 2 threat, and then you basically get 3 turns of removing 2 threat each. That's pretty nice. Moving into the more generic leadership cards here, we get Falcon, a 4-cost ally, 2 thwart for 1 damage, 2 attack for 1 damage. Love that. 3 health. And to be fair, 4 cost 3 health is generally pretty bad. We want the same health as cost, but remember this should be a free cost. And after Falcon enters play, you look at the top 3 cards of the encounter deck, and for each treachery looked at this way, you remove 1 threat. So just like with Agent 13, you're removing threat. This is pretty lovely. Squirrel Girl is a 2 cost 2 health ally, 1 thwart or attack taking 1 damage. But after she enters play, you deal 1 damage to each enemy. That is a really good when you enter play skill. And then you've got Hawkeye, and I love Hawkeye. 3 cost 3 health is fine, 1 thwart or attack for 1 damage is fine, but you enter play with 4 arrow counters on him. And after a minion enters play, you remove an arrow counter from Hawkeye and deal 2 damage to that minion. So a lot of the time with Hawkeye, you're not even going to really want to use him for attacking or thwarting. He sits there to snipe allies as they come into play. That is a little bit ridiculous. And then we've got Wonder Man, a 1 thwart for 1 damage meh. 2 cost 3 health, yay! Free attack when you take 1 damage back? That's ludicrous! But you've got to discard a card from your hand in order to do it. Oh, that's essentially where we come in here. Still a good card, but not quite as good as it looked on the face of it. And the only other leadership card I want to point out, remember you can swap the other cards around and you don't have to play leadership, etc. So the main focus is on the Captain America cards, but I did want to point out some of the good leadership cards, including the allies, because Captain America is an ally-hungry dude. Avengers Assemble. You can only play it once during your round. It is a 4 cost event, which is quite expensive, but remember you might have Super Soldier Serum in play. And what you do as a hero action is ready each Avenger character you control, and until the end of the phase they get +1 thwart and +1 attack. And it is worth pointing out that okay, Agent 13 isn't, but Falcon and Squirrel Girl and Hawkeye and Wonder Man are all Avengers characters, and we do have the card Honorary Avenger, which is a 0 cost upgrade that you attach to a friendly character, and it gives them +1 hit point, and it gives them the Avenger trait, so now they can be affected by Avengers Assemble. Well, look how that worked out. Also, this does stack, so you could potentially put up to 3 of these on. There's 3 in the deck, and then Captain America would have 14 hit points, and that would be quite a bit better. Actually, before we finish, I should probably just have a quick mention of Baron Zemo. It's not particularly... It's not one of the ones that's grabbed me in terms of Nemesis minion. The 5 health is moderately high. It does have free attack and quick strike. It attacks you as soon as he enters. And you can't thwart when he's engaged with you. But honestly, if you're talking 5 health, you should be able to take him down fairly easily. It's not one of the Nemesis minions that I've really worried too much about. Generally, he comes out, attacks you, does a bit of damage, you take him down, job's a good un. Sorry. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Captain America, 2 thumbs up from Wossy. A great, great hero pack, and one that if you haven't gone for yet, you definitely should. I'm giving it between 3 and 4 Wossys. We don't give half Wossys. That would be barbaric. It's not my favourite hero pack, but in terms of just looking at out the box, how good is it? It's good. It's really, really good. So there we go. But now it's over to you guys. I want to know what you think. Is this a deck you've played with lots? Is it one you're very fond of? Go nuts in the comment section, but be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wossy. That's where we talk Marvel Champions and a bunch of other games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.